All right, I'm Phil Scole. I'm a consulting soil scientist from Portland, Oregon. I am here as an instructor of a class dealing with the formation of soils and how wetland characteristics develop within the soil profile. We've spent our class yesterday and today looking at a number of field sites that are natural conditions, beach conditions, river conditions, and sort of showing how when you get different kinds of parent material or geologic formations, you end up having different kinds of soil characteristics. We wanted to come out here to Lakeside to look at a situation that's entirely different than what Mother Nature would be creating, and that is a landscape that has been altered. In this case, topsoil and actually probably 10 feet of soil have been removed from here, and so what is evolving is a soil from substratum. It starts off very sterile and has a very slow progress of developing vegetation. A lot of times the wetland areas develop that vegetation first because there's added moisture in those situations that allows those plants to sustain, but also a lot of wetland plants are sort of adapted to colonizing areas. So they can sort of get a foothold in those kind of areas and help establish some of the beginnings of a topsoil and some subsoil characteristics.
Great. What was the name of your organization one more time?
We teach this class through the Wetland Training Institute, and we come to San Diego every other year or so for talking about soils, and every year we do a wetland delineation class here.
Great, thanks.
Sure. Kind of approach to talking about soils because you could take all of these shovels and you can mix up the order, and you don't necessarily know which one's from the high ground or which one's from the low ground because the site's been disturbed a little bit. So does somebody want to talk about what they found on something, or do I just pick one and
I'll talk
keep
about
going?
mine.
All right.
I just collected a bunch of rocks at the bottom of my pit. It doesn't look as pretty. Here, so I was digging and it was pretty dark somewhere. You know, a little bit of organic layer, and then I got down to the rocky stuff where it started to turn orange. And Phil came up and I was asking him about redox versus matrix color.
Okay. So what we're focusing on in this particular situation is what's underneath the gray layer. It was gray like this or this, and this was underneath it. So feel welcome to grab a sample of this, and take a look at it, and look at the what the texture is and what the variation of colors. You're generally seeing a yellowish brown color, but you see little shades that are a little bit more light